Hey guys, today I'll be doing a review of the Eachine H7, and I want to give a big thanks to Tmart.com for sending me this to review. It's a big help, so thank you. And you might notice right off the bat that this looks quite similar to the Cheerson CX10. Let's focus this. Except, as you can see, the H7 is a little bit bigger there, and it comes with the prop guard. I'm not going to go into too much detail about how it compares against the CX10 right now, but if you want me to, leave a comment below and I'll make a video comparing these two. Although one other thing I did notice real quick about these two is that the motors on here, this has quite a bit of kick to it, but this is a little bit less because they use the same exact motors on the CX10 and the H7. They just use the same ones, but there's a little plastic spacer up here, so the motor doesn't even go all the way down, so they just use the same motors. That's a little bit weird to compensate for this bigger weight and bigger battery and bigger frame. And the props are different. They have the long hubs on them, the same as the Estes Proto X blades, except for the H7 blades are a little bit bigger, wider, and longer, so that's where it gets the extra lift and power from, not from the motors, but from the blades. So that's a little thing I thought that was neat. It comes with everything you need. It's ready to fly. It's from the US, $21, and from China, $18. Here's the instruction manual. I thought this was a pretty good instruction manual because, as you can see, it's designed specifically, like it was written for this quad. It's not just copy and pasted, and it's actually in pretty good English. It gives you everything you need to know about this, except there's no way to recalibrate the accelerometer. There's nothing in here, and I haven't seen anyone found how to do that. You get your USB charging cable, and you get your box. It's a really nice box. Comes compact in there, and it's also the same thing that comes with the H1, so you can have the same box. The remote. At first, when I saw it, I thought it was a little bit funky. I wasn't sure I was gonna like the little arms or legs that come down, because it's pretty much a CX10 transmitter. It's just with these extra legs, but it actually fits in the hands quite nice. Like, I'm a thumb flyer, so my bottom two fingers in each hand curl around these arms here, and it actually fits nice. And if you're a pincher, just your pinkies would then. And it's actually it actually feels pretty nice. And the sticks do come off for stick extensions if you wanted more resolution and you're a pincher. The thing that's a little bit weird on here is that you have two buttons down here. On the right, you have fast and slow speeds. Let's turn it on here. And with this one, you don't have to go up, down to the bind. It'll just bind automatically. So, and you have to turn the quad on first. And you have fast and slow speeds. 2 beeps, that's fast, and the light will blink twice. It'll beep and blink once, that means you're in slow. And you have flip mode over here on the left button. And then if you're bound, it'll keep beeping, and then you give right stick input to do your flip. And something that I found in the manual that I don't think anyone else has found yet, well, I haven't seen anybody. If you hold the flip button in for 2 or 3 seconds, you hear that beep, then that'll go into continuous flip mode. If it's on, it'll keep beeping, and then you can keep doing flips, and you keep just doing flips. Like, if you give a little bit of stick, you can still fly a little bit, but once you give full stick, it'll do a flip. To turn that mode off, you just press and hold it again, and it'll beep. And the sticks do not click in. And the weirdest thing is that the trim buttons are actually up here. You have forward on this side, and on the right you have back. Forward, back. So that's a little bit weird that the trim's up there. And then you have left and right. There's no yaw trim. Let's see. Let's put this box back up. Let's see. The prop guard, as you can see, it does come up again. These little sections all rise up a little bit above the props, so there's a little bit that you can touch the ceiling, as you can see there. It's bouncing and not hitting the props. It doesn't have, you can hear there it's hitting. It doesn't have too much room, but it's definitely helpful. And the edges, there's quite a bit of room this way, like to bounce into there, but you have to look at where it curves up, the closest point there. So there's not too much room. And it doesn't really do that well of a job of keeping it flying, but it definitely protects the blades, so it's a pretty nice prop guard. And you can take it off. There are there are clips on the edge here. See if I can focus that. there's a clip here that you have to take that off, and then each motor has one, and they just slide out, and then there's a pin that goes into the body here, and I'll show you that right now. I'll take it off. And I'm just using fine point tweezers just to go under the clip and pull it out, and just be careful so you don't break it. Okay, there we go. I'm done with that. And I forgot to mention that you have to take the props off first. Then you can just undo those clips. And then this just comes right off. And it's a lot easier to put back on because all you have to do is push down and it'll just click in because of the way the clips are designed. In terms of flight performance, this with the prop guard on, it's a little bit underpowered. Like it lacks a little bit of kick. It's still really maneuverable and a really nice quad. But I think it flies more aggressive, obviously, with the prop guard off. And with the prop guard on, I forgot to say it, but this is actually a 150 milliamp hour battery instead of on the CX-10 the normal 100 milliamp hour batteries. So that's really nice. It takes about 40 minutes to charge, 35-40 minutes. And with the prop guard on, I've been getting about 6.5 minute flights, and with it off, I've been getting about 7-minute flights. So that is a really long flight time for a Nano quad, so that's really nice. Let's see, the yaw rate is actually really, really nice for a Nano. It's got the low rates. In low rates, I forgot to say that, yeah, you have two rates. You have low and high rates. Or no, I did say that, but the yaw rate is pretty good in low rates. And it has, the pitch could be a little bit faster, but I feel that it's good for a beginner. Then in high rates, the yaw rate's really fast, and it has quite a bit of pitch. So that's really nice. Let's see. The flips on this are pretty nice. They're not quite as nice as the CX-10, I think, but if you give it only gives a little bit of throttle, so you have to throttle into them a little bit, and then it'll make them a lot nicer. Let's see. The remote, I forgot to say, it takes 2 AAA batteries there. Let's see. The lights on this are really, really nice. See, I'll turn it on here. You can see right away it's got really nice lights. You've got a really, really nice white headlight in the front here, and there's green in the body and green in the front, blue in the back, but they're inside of the body. They don't really show from above, but you're looking at the bottom, so that doesn't really matter. And you have really nice green and blue lights, and it's really great for a night flyer. Then you have this really, 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 I can't say how bright this light is. There's a white headlight in front there. It's almost blotting out the green. It's just, you can see it on my finger. It's really, really bright and nice. So this is definitely a great night flyer. So that's really nice that it comes with super great LEDs. Let's turn that off. Let's see. Overall, this is just a really great flyer. Like I said, it's $21 from the US. It's a really nice quadcopter, and it's good for beginners and advanced pilots. I think this prop guard's pretty functional, but it's nice that you can take it off so you can have the option of a little bit longer and more aggressive flight. Yeah, it's just a nice all-around quadcopter, so now let's go check out the flights. Okay, here we are for the indoor flight of the Eachine H7, and I'll be starting off with the prop guard installed, so put it down on the floor and I'll show you how it flies. I'll start off in low rates, and I'll try and trim it out for you. I forgot to mention it in my review, but it actually, with the prop guard on, is a little bit more stable, like, drifting-wise. Like, without the prop guard, it kind of changes which direction it wants to drift, but that's not a problem if you're flying, because it doesn't, but just in a straight-on hover, it's a little bit more stable with the guard. Like, it just adds some weight stability to it, I guess. You can see that's a hands-off hover there. It's pretty stable. A little twitchy on the throttle. It's hard to find where it wants to stay, but I'll do a throttle punch here. You can see it has a decent amount of power. Not quite as much as the CX-10, but the prop guard holds it back a little bit. As you can probably tell already, that's low rates yaw, and that's a pretty good yaw for low rates. That's about how fast the CX-10 is on high rates. So that's a nice yaw, and then there's high rates yaw, so it gets even faster. It's a really nice yaw. You can do nice funnels with it, especially for a little Nano. That's a really nice yaw, and that's holding perfectly. I'm just giving full left stick, and as you can see, the lights are super nice and bright. You see there, the prop guard's covering against the ceiling. You just can't really do ceiling fans because it's too close to suction, but it does protect against it pretty well. You can see there. It hits the props a little bit, but it definitely helps bounce it off. And it's actually fairly quiet for Nano. It's still pretty loud, but it's not too bad. Now let's come over here and I'll test out the props against the wall. You can see it does work a little bit. Bouncing off the wall there. Stuck in the corner. You can't, as you can see there, that's what I was going to say, when you hit, since it doesn't have an over amount of power, and if you hit sideways and it gets, bounced off, it can't really recover that well, but there it's hitting the props a little bit, but pretty nice prop guard for what it is. You can see there that, but okay, here's high rates pitch with the prop guard on. You can see it's got pretty nice pitch. It's responsive immediately, as you can see there. And then here's low rates pitch. You see a little bit slower and nice for beginners. And here's a low rates funnel. That's full stick there. I'm just giving like that. And that's doing a really nice funnel. And then let's kick it up into high rates and do a high rates funnel. There we go. There's a high rates funnel. You can see really nice funnels in high rates. That's staying really nice. Some of the best funnels in the Nano that I've seen, besides the LS111, but that doesn't have as much power as this. Okay, now let's do some flips with the prop guard on. You can see they're a little bit, you have to give, if you want to have really nice flips, give throttle before you, whoa, got flipped around there, before you go into it. Here's a flip with just a hovering flip. Right. Ceiling. Swing it back, let's try that again. That was a hovering flip, and you can see giving throttle into it makes it a lot better. So nice flips, a little bit nicer without the prop guard, but these funnels just really nice. Okay, I think that was a good enough flight. Let's bring it in for landing. Bounced off the box, but it just shows you that the prop guard works pretty well. Yeah, so now let's take the prop guard off and let's go check that out. Okay, here we are with the second indoor flight of the Eachine H7. As you can see, I've removed the prop guard for the maximum aggressiveness in flight. So let's put it back down on the floor. Let's bring it up. And I forgot to say this in my review, but I said this in the prop guard flight of this, but it actually flies a little bit more stable when you have the prop guard on. Like it drifts, it still drifts, but it stays in a constant drift, so it's easier to trim it. But this is still really stable. I'm trimming it right now. Sometimes kind of hard to trim with the weird buttons layout, but there, I got it pretty much trimmed. You can see those lights look really cool. Here's low rates yaw. As you can see, that's just full yaw. And it's leaning a little bit because I have some trim applied, but it's pretty much staying in the same place, and that's a pretty good yaw for low rates. And here's the pitch. So the yaw rate and the pitch are pretty matched up. And here's high rates, and there's high rates yaw. As you can see, it's quite a bit faster, and that's really nice yaw there, especially for a Nano. And then let's bring it back. And then here is high rates pitch. You can see it's quite a bit harder. And this thing actually can fight a little bit of wind without the prop guard. It can get quite aggressive. And here I'll do a low rate funnel. Try and get going here. There we go. Kind of hard with the throttle being a little touchy, but it's a low rate funnel. Pretty nice and dialed in. Okay, now let's do a high rate funnel. You can see that's a really nice funnel right there. That's just staying right there. Really nice and tight funnels, especially for a Nano. Got a great yaw rate on that. On this, I love that, because I don't like slow yaw rates. Okay, I think that was good enough for a funnel. Okay, let's do some flips. You can see pretty nice tight flips. I find that they confuse the accelerometer sometimes just a little bit. Like, it'll want to lean after a flip. Then once you start flying again, it'll get rid of that. You can see really nice tight flips. A lot, not too much better recovery without the prop guard, but definitely better without that extra weight. Okay, here I'll put it into what I was talking about in my review. I'm in flip mode continuous. So now all I have to do is keep giving right stick input. Whoops. That's not the best mode, I don't think. And then if you don't flip for a while, it'll go out of it by itself, I think. But yeah, it's just really nice flyer, as you can see here. Really nice flight times, really nice yaw, nice pitch, nice LEDs. And this is quite durable. I've crashed it a lot. Eachine, and they definitely have a winner with this one, I think. I highly recommend it to you. Land it here. Okay, there you go. That was the review of the Eachine H7. It's a great little nano quadcopter, and thanks again, Tmart, so much for saying this to me. I highly recommend this. I'll put links below for you to purchase it. It's a great little quadcopter, and stay tuned for a night flight, definitely, because of these great LEDs. And watch my unboxing. I'll put a link below, and stay tuned for more videos. See ya.